Have you ever wondered why some people seem to manifest everything they desire, while others stay trapped in the same loops day after day? What if I told you the answer isn't out there, but deep within, in the most powerful place in the universe, your mind? Yes, your entire reality may be shaped or destroyed by thoughts you don't even know you're thinking. Stay with me until the end of this video, and I'll show you how to reprogram the source of it all. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, do you believe the mind has power over reality? Or do you feel like you're at the mercy of fate? It may sound like a simple question, but the answer holds an ancient secret, kept by mystics and sages, and now confirmed by science. The truth is, the universe is mental. Everything around you, every person, every situation, every miracle or challenge, was born from a thought, a vibration, an intention. Imagine this. You're standing by a still, quiet lake, and every thought you have is like a stone dropped into its waters. Ripples form, the surface shifts, and what was once invisible begins to take shape. The Kybalion, one of the oldest Hermetic texts, said it long ago. The all is mind, the universe is mental. Long before modern science existed, the ancients knew the outer world is just a reflection of the inner mind. Still doubt it? Then let's talk science. Have you heard of the double-slit experiment? In it, scientists discovered that a particle changes behavior simply because someone observes it. In other words, matter behaves differently when mind is present, which means you don't just see the world, you shape it. The way you perceive, feel, and think directly affects what becomes real. But if the mind creates reality, why does it seem so hard to change our lives? Maybe because the mind that creates isn't fully yours. Have you ever paused to ask, how many of your beliefs are truly yours? How many did you absorb from family, school, religion, the media? From the moment we're born, we're programmed, taught what to believe, what's right, what's wrong, what's possible, and what's forbidden to even dream. And those beliefs don't live in the conscious mind. They're buried in the subconscious. Here's the key. Your subconscious directs about 95% of your daily decisions. Meaning, even when you think you're in control, it's actually your subconscious behind the wheel. Imagine a grand theater. You're on stage, thinking you're the main character. But the one writing the script, pulling the strings behind the curtain, is a part of you that was shaped without your permission. It's like living under a collective spell. Our social systems were designed to keep the mind confined, trapped in cycles of fear and limitation. But what if I told you there's a way out? A way to rewrite those hidden programs and awaken your true creative power. Now that you know how deeply you've been programmed, the inevitable question arises. How do I break free from autopilot? The answer lies exactly where control was planted. In your subconscious. Ancient mystics called it the black dragon. A silent, powerful force that lives in the depths of your psyche and can either imprison or liberate you. But here's the secret few speak about. The dragon can be transformed. Everything begins with what you believe. Because what you believe strongly enough becomes your reality. And it's not fantasy, it's neuroscience, it's physics, it's applied spirituality. Science has already shown. Your brain is neuroplastic. It reshapes itself based on your focus. And the subconscious, though automatic, can be reprogrammed. But not through force or control. It happens through vivid imagination, emotional repetition, and energetic intention. Deep visualizations, creative meditations, soulful affirmations, symbolic rituals that speak the language of the unseen. These are not New Age tricks. They are ancient spiritual technologies. Forgotten keys, now returning to your hands. Now that you've begun awakening the power of the subconscious, it's time to activate an even deeper force: faith. But forget everything you were taught about it. Faith is not begging. It's not waiting for something to arrive from outside. Faith is a vibrational certainty. A silent decree from your being that says, "This is already real for me." True faith does not require proof. Creates the proof. It's like planting a seed in the dark, and knowing without seeing that it's already growing. Quantum physics is just beginning to grasp this. But ancient mystics, like Yeshua, Buddha, Hermes, knew it long ago. What you hold as true within manifests outside. But why was faith distorted? Because it's dangerous to systems of control. Someone who believes with total certainty cannot be manipulated by fear, doesn't need outside validation, and cannot be easily controlled. That's why, for so long, we were taught to outsource faith, to place it in distant gods, religious authorities, or gurus. But true faith has always lived within you. And now, you are beginning to remember. Have you noticed how some dreams take flight, while others never leave the page? The difference often lies in something invisible, but powerful. Emotion. Thoughts without emotion are like arrows with no bow. They have no force, no direction. They go nowhere. Emotion is the sacred fire that drives your intention into the field of creation. It is the breath of life that animates the mental image, the divine spark that gives form. And it's no coincidence. The human heart has an electromagnetic field up to 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. In other words, feeling is more creative than thinking. When you feel love, gratitude, enthusiasm, your energy field expands. You align with higher frequencies, with greater possibilities. But when you feed guilt, fear, or resentment, you contract. You lock yourself into a reality of lack and repetition. And more than that, dense emotions not only limit you, they feed thought forms and entities that feed off your energy. Sounds mystical, maybe, but it's also physical. It's quantum, it's spiritual, and it's deeply real. That's why it's not enough to just want. You must feel it, as if it's already real. Turn your emotion into fuel. Make your heart the most powerful altar there is. If you could hear the sound of your soul right now, what frequency would it be sending out? Because everything, absolutely everything, is vibration. Atoms, thoughts, words, emotions, all pulsing, oscillating, singing on an invisible frequency. And the universe, dear one, doesn't respond to your words. It responds to the frequency you emit. You can repeat, "I am abundant," 1,000 times. But if your vibration is fear, lack, or doubt, what manifests will be the reflection of that. Vibration attracts what is similar. That's why negative environments pull you down. And that's also why a song, a deep breath, a moment of presence can realign your whole field. But pay attention. Vibration is neutral. It doesn't judge. It doesn't distinguish between good or bad. It simply amplifies what you're already broadcasting. Want to change your reality? Change your vibration. How? Use the right music. Dance with awareness. Breathe deeply. Chant mantras. Move with intention. Feel gratitude, even without a reason. These are simple tools, but sacred ones, that tune your energetic field. Because in the end, you are an instrument. And the universe is listening to your melody. How many times have you told yourself, "When I have time, I'll change. Someday, everything will fall into place." But what if that someday never comes? What if time, as you know it, is just an illusion? The linear mind loves to create past and future. But the soul only knows the now. The great mystics always knew. Everything happens in the present moment. Here and only here is where your power lives. When you relive the past with guilt or resentment, or project the future with fear or anxiety, you lose the only true point of creation, the now. Time, in truth, is a perceptual experience, not an absolute reality. Have you ever felt that a single moment lasted forever? Or that hours vanished in a breath? That's because time bends before your awareness. Here lies the mystery revealed by sages like Giordano Bruno, Rumi, the Cathars. Eternity is not a line. It is a point. It is this point. Now is a vortex. And when you enter it with full presence, the gates open. Healing happens. Desire manifests. The soul reveals itself. So when you visualize your desire, don't imagine it far away. Feel it here, as if it's already real in this moment. Because in the quantum field, in the spiritual realm, it already is. Look around you. The walls, the objects, the sky. Everything seems solid, tangible, real. But what if nothing is as it seems? Modern physics and ancient mystics agree on something astonishing. Reality is an illusion, a hologram. Not fake, but a reflection, a projection of your inner world. You are not what appears on the screen. You are the projector. Everything happening outside, encounters, challenges, synchronicities, miracles, are reflections of what you are emitting from within. This might sound radical, but think about it. On a subatomic level, matter only forms when someone observes it. Which means, nothing exists in a defined way, until consciousness enters the equation. You are the observer, the creator, the screenwriter, and at the same time, the protagonist. Every thought is a lens, every emotion a filter, every belief a camera aimed at a specific script. And here's the power. If you change the inner script, the movie changes. You don't need to fight what you see on the screen. You only need to transform what you're projecting. Let's recap. Not with the mind, but with the feeling. The mind is the origin, the spark, the fertile field. The subconscious is the silent programmer, operating from the shadows, shaping your reality based on the codes you carry. Faith is the activator, the signal you send to the universe declaring, "I believe, I already am." Emotion is the fuel, the living energy that drives your creation. Vibration is the language, what you emit and what you receive. The now is the portal, The precise point where everything manifests. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, now. And reality, it is the hologram. The mirrored image of your frequency, your choices, your alignment. Everything is connected. There is no separation between mind, energy, and matter, between science, spirit, and emotion. It all dances in harmony, waiting for you to step into your role. You are not just flesh, a name, or a story. You are a living creation code, an infinite being, slowly remembering your power. Now take a deep breath. Feel. Something inside you remembers, doesn't it? You are not a victim of fate. You are the author of the reality you are living. And the time to remember that is now. Stop waiting for permission. Stop searching outside for what has always been within. Visualize with certainty. Feel with intensity. Align your frequency with the life you desire. The universe doesn't respond to desperate pleas. It responds to coherent vibration. So declare, I release fear. I honor my power. I create my reality with awareness and love. If this message touched something within you, share it with someone who's ready to awaken too. Subscribe to the channel to receive more messages like this. And remember, your transformation begins the moment you decide to vibrate differently. The time to forget is over. The moment to remember who you are is now.